Hello everyone, welcome back to IEEE RAIT, which is your destination to learn something new in each video. In today's video as well, we have the aim to learn something new and interesting. So, let's begin. Quantum computing is a new frontier in the world of computing. What used to take hours, days or even weeks can now be completed in seconds. In this video, we'll take a look at quantum computing and how it works. In 1965, a physicist named Richard Feynman gave a lecture in which he referred to the fact that computers get slower as more calculations need to be done. For example, if you double the number of people trying to make appointments on a shared calendar, it takes 4 times as long for everyone to find a time that works for them. So, what's behind this? The answer is something called quantum mechanics. In a sense, every time you try and add information to computer memory or processor, atoms interfere with each other and throw off your calculations. However, this interference is something called quantum noise. That means it can be used to solve problems that are currently unsolvable, even for the most powerful of computers. For now, the only way to take advantage of this fact is with a device called quantum computer. So, what is quantum computing? The most basic definition of quantum computing is that it calculates using bits that are in multiple states at once. For example, if you have a piece of paper with one dot on it, you could represent its state as 0 or 1 by whether or not there was a mark on the page. But if you have one of these pieces of paper with 2 dots on it, you could represent its state as either 0 or 1 by whether or not the 2 dots were linked. If Alice wants to send Bob a message saying "Hello Bob," her computer can simply send the information along to Bob's computer, requesting him to respond with "Hello." Let's say that for this to work, both Alice and Bob need to send each other their bits to decode their messages. This is an example of what is called quantum communication protocol. From here, any number of different operations can be performed. And the main difference between this and using classical bits is that it's impossible to predict what will happen on an individual bit level, which reduces the chances of errors. But if you blow up bits to look at them individually, you will find that they no longer behave like simple on and off switches. It turns out that the more states you give each bit, the more energy it requires for it to stay in one state. This is essentially what makes manipulating bits so difficult. They begin to actively interfere with each other throughout their lifetime. This interference becomes less likely as you start increasing number of bits, but eventually they become so destructive that they cannot be stored for very long without destroying themselves. Finally, there's a discussion on some applications that have been suggested for these computers in both scientific and military settings. Quantum sensors have a variety of military applications. Quantum sensors can be used to detect submarines and stealth aircraft, and also for position navigation and timing. Cybersecurity, chemical engineering, banking and finance are some of the applications. So how does quantum computer really work? Most people know what a computer is. It's something we use daily without thinking too much about it or its function. You should know, however, that the computer you use every day is no different from the one at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab. Both are programmed using binary numbers. To understand how these computers work, think of an OR gate. This structure is what allows us to run our normal computers. Here's how it works. two binary bits switch on and off continuously while at rest, even when they are not doing anything. When only one bit is on, it is called 1, while when the other is on, it's called 0. Binary numbers can be represented using either of the two logic gates. Here's an example. Quantum computers work differently than traditional computers because one single step can flip the binary state of a single qubit. When this happens, all the information stored in the computer instantly changes and there's no more random bits to be processed. This is how a quantum computer works and why they are so much more powerful than the normal computers. For your reference, a qubit represents a state of matter. It acts as a switch when it's in one state or another. In physics, qubits are usually represented by an atom or small molecule. In the case of our quantum computers, they use components such as superconducting qubits or sprintonic ones. The way these components work is to flip the state of each bit when it's in 0 state to 1 state at a very high frequency, much faster than the normal speed at which computers operate. Even though this doesn't sound all that different from using a transistor or logic gate, you have to realize that these quantum states change from one moment to another with absolutely no warning. That's all. Hope you learned something new in this video as well. And if you did, make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. And do hit the bell icon to get timely updates of more such awesome videos. See you next time. Bye.